let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today, looking at an organization's operational playbook.
Right.
And it's based on a talk shared by Hilary Nyusi Chin.
Mm-hmm.
So our sources, they give us this really interesting look behind the curtain, at the internal structure, recruitment, the whole leadership model of this platform called Victory with Ash, VWA.
Yeah, VWA. And the key thing to get across here, I think, is what VWA actually is. It's basically a community-driven platform, decentralized.
Okay.
And that context, it's really important because you see this tension they're dealing with.
Like that.
Well, how do you grow super fast, like viral growth, when your whole system depends on trust? And you need, like, decentralized manpower just to handle quality control.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
So our mission here is to figure out how VWA is trying to manage these, technical scaling problems while also pushing for this really fast decentralized community growth. What does that even look like? Responsible growth in their system.
Absolutely. And the talk itself, it's aimed right at the existing VWA members.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a mix of trying to calm people down and also giving instructions, calm anxieties about the system, but also really push what they call responsible community growth.
Yeah.
If you look right at the start, the first thing the speaker jumps on is just technical panic.
Oh, yeah. The confirmation emails.
Exactly. They aren't arriving. Registrations are dragging on forever.
Yeah.
People are getting worried.
That's the first bit of their playbook, isn't it? It's like the confidence game. They start by just normalizing the problems.
How so?
Well, the speaker explains the system sometimes just pauses temporarily because it hits a high volume of registrations or, too many requests.
So it's like hitting the brakes itself.
Kind of, yeah. Like a circuit breaker, maybe? To stop the whole thing from crashing under the load?
That's where it gets really interesting, though, how they frame it.
The analogy.
Yeah, and the speaker uses this analogy to make the delay sound normal, expected even. They call it a normal technical process. And then they compare VWA slowing down to, like, massive platforms like Facebook or Google, sometimes getting sluggish under heavy load.
Which is brilliant, really, from a PR standpoint.
How do you mean?
Well, by putting VWA in the same sentence as Google or Facebook, they instantly make it sound huge and successful. It turns what could be a sign of failure into proof of high demand.
Okay. I see that.
And right after that technical bit comes the emotional support. Members are told, don't panic.
Right. Don't compare how fast you registered versus someone else. Be patient.
Exactly. The message is clear. The system needs people. Everyone will be brought in. It's all about making people trust the system will work eventually, not focus on the immediate glitches.
So, okay, once they've hopefully calmed everyone down, convinced them the system's just popular.
Then it pivots
hard
into the actual strategy, the rules.
Yeah, which is way more demanding.
Yeah.
The speaker even shares his own method as an example.
Oh, yeah. What's that? He talks about giving out his link and then personally tracking the, say, 10 or so people who used his link to make sure they actually got confirmed.
Wow. Okay, so that leads into the core rules then.
Mm-hmm. Phase 2. The mandate. This is where it gets very concrete. Rule number 1 is about responsible sharing. Members have to share their personal referral links, but, and this is key, only with trusted people.
Like friends, family?
Exactly. Responsible contacts. They specifically say not to just blast it out on public forums or random groups.
And why that limitation? Is it just about growth quality?
That's exactly it. The stated reason is to keep scammers or, quote, irresponsible people out of the VWA system.
So the members themselves become the first line of defense, the filter.
Precisely. And that's where the sort of operational cleverness of the VWA structure comes in. They're not just asking for referrals. No, they're basically outsourcing their HR, their quality control. It's pushed onto the user base.
Okay, good.
But the real structural piece here is rule number 2, the 10 people rule.
The 10 people. I saw that mentioned.
And it's not just a suggestion. It sounds like a core requirement. Each participant needs to aim to bring in and then manage about 10 people.
Oh, wait. Manage them, not just invite them.
Manage them. Guide them.
So you're not just getting users. You're getting, like, mandatory unpaid team leads baked into the system from the get-go.
Pretty much.
That sounds like a massive commitment, like a part-time job.
It's huge. And it really highlights how much this decentralized platform relies on trust. Those 10 people. They're not just entries in a database.
They're your responsibility.
Your personal network. Exactly. The inviter has to help them guide them through registration, and crucially, through the identity verification process.
The KYC process.
Right, know your customer.
Okay, let's pause on KYC for a second. Just for anyone listening who might not know, KYC,
Yeah.
know your customer, that's the identity check, right? Confirming someone is who they say they are, often needs documents, maybe biometrics.
That's the one. Often pretty tedious.
So why would a platform like this rely on individual members, basically volunteers, to guide new people through that, instead of having, like, a central help desk or tech support?
That's the strategic core, isn't it? Guiding 10 people through KYC takes time. It takes trust.
Okay.
By making it mandatory, VWA seems to achieve, well, maybe 3 things. First, the new user gets vetted by someone trusted, the person who invited them.
Makes sense, like a vouching system.
Second, it saves VWA a ton of money on running a big centralized support operation.
Right, cost saving.
And maybe most importantly, it really locks in the loyalty of the person doing the guiding. If you spent hours helping 10 people get set up,
You're invested deeply.
exactly, you're not just a user anymore. You're a leader in the system. You're committed.
And that commitment, that structure, leads right into the next phase, doesn't it? The decentralized leadership idea.
Phase 3, the new role. Yeah. The system doesn't just see people as users. The design actively pushes, maybe even forces, every participant to become a leader and guide for their network.
So everyone becomes a manager, essentially.
In a way, yes. And what's really interesting is the analogy they use to frame this.
What's that?
They compare this grassroots, member-led support to how big companies like Facebook or YouTube offer tutorials and guides for new users.
Huh. So the message is kind of like, we're growing too fast for us to handle support centrally, so you, the members, you're the onboarding team now.
Pretty much. You are the distributed help desk.
And what's the tool they recommend for this, for managing these 10 people?
It's actually pretty basic. They advise members to create small WhatsApp groups.
WhatsApp?
Really? Yeah. To guide their invited members through everything. Registration, KYC, the whole deal.
Why WhatsApp, do you think?
Well, think about it. It's everywhere, right? People know how to use it. It's reasonably secure for small groups.
And it's free.
And it's free. Crucially, VWA doesn't have to build or pay for its own complex internal communication or support system for all these little teams.
So they leverage existing tech. It's the ultimate kind of grassroots, low-cost management strategy.
Yeah.
So if you zoom out, the whole vision for scaling up, for growth, it hinges entirely on this working, on millions of little WhatsApp groups.
That seems to be the picture the speaker paints. He visualizes millions of these small groups helping millions of new users, and he argues this peer-to-peer ground-up structure is what lets VWA grow fast, but still keep some control over who joins.
But doesn't that sound fragile? Forcing everyone into being a manager for 10 people. What about burnout? What if a mentor just quits?
That's a huge question. If one guy drops out, potentially 10 people are left hanging.
Yeah, without their main contact.
The system demands incredible commitment,
Yeah.
consistency from everyone.
Which I guess brings us to the final piece of this VWA playbook we've been looking at. There's an emotional core holding it together.
Absolutely. The whole talk, it's this mix, right? Technical reassurance, then these really strict operational demands.
The 10 people rule, the guiding.
Right. And to make that decentralized structure stick, they seem to rely heavily on motivation. Strong motivation.
Yep.
And the talk wraps up with this very specific faith-based message. It's not just generic Go Team stuff. No, it's very targeted. First, the speaker gives the general advice, stay calm, be consistent, trust the process, standard stuff.
Okay.
But then adds this very explicit spiritual encouragement. Give your life to Christ. Make him your Lord and Savior. He's real. Stay blessed.
Wow. That's quite specific for the end of what sounds like an operational briefing.
Yeah.
About recruitment and system rules.
It is remarkable, isn't it?
Why include that? Such direct, faith-based language right at the end. What's the thinking there?
Well, think about the system they're building. It's based on trust, decentralized, relies on unpaid work, basically. High integrity needed.
Right, they're trying desperately to filter out those irresponsible people.
Exactly. So you need absolute alignment, honesty. This final statement, it feels like it acts as an emotional, maybe even a moral safeguard. It reinforces that need for trust, for common ground within the community. It's like an attempt to lift the commitment beyond just a transaction, make it about a shared, high-value moral purpose.
And the idea is that this shared purpose helps guarantee members will stick to the rules, like the 10 people rule.
That seems to be the theory. that it helps ensure people will uphold those strict standards, act responsibly as guides.
So, pulling it all together then, what we're seeing from this talk by Hillary Nusimo Chin, it's this really tightly woven strategy for VWA, part technical confidence building, part really strict operational rules, the 10 people rule being key, and then this mandatory leadership structure.
Yeah, a leadership structure that's reinforced by this strong moral, or in this case, spiritual component, all designed for rapid but hopefully controlled and definitely cost-effective growth.
It's a really sophisticated model, isn't it, for basically outsourcing platform development support and integrity management straight to the users.
It really is. It turns every single participant into a stakeholder, a manager, and a quality control agent all rolled into one.
Okay, so the final thought we want to leave you, the listener, with is this. VWA puts this huge emphasis on trust, on this mandatory mentorship, on decentralized leadership to filter out bad actors.
Right, the irresponsible people.
So how effective do you think these kinds of community-led structures really are at maintaining quality and integrity, especially when you compare them to, say, big centralized platforms that handle all the verification themselves in-house?
Yeah, what's the real trade-off there between decentralized trust and effort versus centralized control and cost? Something to think about.